Humans live in a world full of other organisms. Organisms so small that only highly powered microscopes can see them. They have evolved to live in even the harshest environments. So it's a given that they must live in and on our bodies. But let me ask you a question. What if suddenly your body is exposed to a bad organism or thing?
Pathogens, bad bacteria, viruses, or microorganisms that cause disease are everywhere, and they love getting into people. Normally, our body can prevent such pathogens from infecting us. This is called the first-line defense, because the invaders must get past it first. Our skin is basically one of the biggest boundaries our body has to the outside. The top layer of skin is called the epidermis, which is a tightly packed layer of cells with no gaps. It acts like a wall around our body, stopping things from getting in. The cell's high salt concentration, low pH, and oils called sebum make the surface of our skin inhospitable to many pathogens. The bacteria on our skin simply take up too much space and push out any bad bacteria. Mucus on our nose, coating our throat and lungs catch anything we breathe in, allowing little cells called cilia to push it out into our mouth so we can swallow it. Gross, right? No. Once we swallow it, it sends the pathogen to its inevitable death in our stomach acid. The first line defense falls under the category of innate immunity because it is nonspecific and attacks or stops any foreign pathogen. But let's say a pathogen gets past the first line defense and into our body. Now it is considered our second line defense. Yet the innate immune system has a backup plan. Natural killer cells are nonspecific lymphocyte cells that cause infected cells that don't match our cells to perform apoptosis. Phagocytes are also part of the innate system. They're most commonly known as white blood cells that devour pathogens through a process known as phagocytosis. But once they engulf the pathogenic cell, the phagocyte becomes an antigen-presenting cell, an APC, a messenger for the body that displays foreign proteins on its own cell membrane. Once a phagocyte becomes an APC, our body's second type of immunity takes over, adaptive immunity. Adaptive immunity is the system that specifically targets individual pathogens that hide in cell walls and make antigens. APCs rush over to a B cell, but only one B cell has the correct antibodies that can cancel out the antigen. Only one. But once a B cell and an antigen are matched, it causes the B cell to start dividing rapidly and creating more and more antibodies. Antibodies neutralize antigens on infected cells until they can be consumed by a white blood cell. But antigens can be stopped through a different way too. If an antigen binds to a specific T cell, then that T cell divides and actually starts to seek out infected cells and forces them into apoptosis. T cells thus directly kill infected cells, while B cells just inactivate them.
So as a quick recap, the human body has two major systems keeping our body safe, the innate and the adaptive. The innate includes all the first line defense and any non-specific cells in our second line, like the natural killer cells and the phagocytes. But the moment a phagocyte turns into an APC, the second adaptive system takes over. This system includes specific cells that counteract only one type of antigen per cell. All in all, even though our world is literally covered in bacteria, there's no need to suddenly become a germaphobe. Our body is overly prepared to counter disease in more than one way. And the next time you get sick, just know you have an army of millions of little cells fighting on your side.